People sometimes ask about garage doors and why Chief doesn't have a better selection. Complaints about the single door, the 8 or 9 foot door, doesn't match the wider doors and things. And my response is usually just make your own, and it's really not difficult. So I thought I'd do a quick video on how I do these. So I've got 2 doors here. These are both ones that I made, and all you need to do is make one panel. You can make the whole door. That's easy too, but all you really need to do is make one panel, and then Chief can put that panel together and make a door. And of course you can come over here and change the number of panels. And so this door on the left is basically what you get when you create a panel and you let Chief combine that panel into a door, and then use it as a garage door. And Chief builds garage doors a lot like it builds a regular door. And to me, they're not, the way garage doors are built is not correct. And so over here on this side, this is one I've sort of enhanced. One thing I've done is I've put this little molding, that little molding right there, which, at least where I live, a lot of garage doors have that. The other thing I've done, let's look on the inside here. I'll switch views. One thing I've done is made this symbol offset so it's inside the wall. Again, you know, garage doors are done more like this. They don't go inside the opening, they go on the back side of the opening like this. And you know, here's the Chief one over on this far side. The other thing I've done is made this one so it overlaps. Again, I think that's more realistic than the Chief one fitting inside the opening. So now if we could only get Chief to generate some rails in an automatic opener for us. So let's open up this symbol. And in 3D, all I did was offset the Y position 1 5/8. This door is this panel is 1.5 inches thick. It can be any thickness, obviously, but I made it 1.5 inches. So I gave it 1 5/8 offset to push it back. And then in sizing, I reduced the width by 4 inches, and that causes it to overlap the opening by 2 inches on each side. I added a stretch plane at 8 inches, which is about the center of that panel. And so let's build one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use countertops. I'm going to make this 18 feet. And I'm going to make it 24 inches. So there's the basic size. I'm going to draw a line there, and then I'm going to just go over 8. My copy reflect about the center of that. And then I'm going to draw another line in here. So this is going to be 18 feet minus 16. Which puts me over right on top of this other line. And then while that's still selected, I'm going to multiply that, or I'm going to subtract 18 inches. And that's because I want 6 inches between each panel. There's 4 panels, so there's three gaps between each panel. And then I'm going to multiply that by 0.25. And so that gives me the width of each panel. And then I'm going to pick this custom countertop hole. Those lines just give me something to snap to. And then I'm going to make this 3. All these dimensions, of course, don't matter. Make them anything you want. So let's take a quick 3D view. So one thing about using countertops is they take moldings really easy. So I'm going to select that hole and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to add a molding. And we'll go to Edge Moldings and I'm going to pick this one. You could draw your own or just use one of these. And it comes in already 1.5 inches by 3/4. And I'm just going to leave all this stuff. So let's zoom in over here. And you can see that molding is applied correctly. So I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to go to General and Display Molding Edges. And that way you can see the molding. And then we just need to copy this across. So I've got 45.5. So I'm going to say 45.5 plus 6, 51.5. And then we'll just drag this across. And in 3D, there it is. So let me get rid of all those lines. Now because this is a countertop, let's see if I can select all this stuff. Because it's a countertop, it's getting its thickness from the cabinet, which is 1.5 inches. You can uncheck this and make that whatever you want. It's getting its height from the cabinet, so I'm going to make this 0. And again, that's really not important. You just have to know where that is. And it looks like that got unchecked. I would normally set that to 0. When I first drew it, I just forgot. So I'm just going to use, I could use another countertop in here. I'm going to hold C for concentric resize, hit tab. I think I want to go in 3/4 of an inch. That's already an inch. So I'm going to raise the bottom up 1/4 of an inch to put it in the center of this outside panel. And then we'll multiple copy. So there's our panel. So I'm going to go over here. I've got this these colors that I use for stuff like this. So I'm going to do that there. I'm going to do the panels that color, and this is the panel bead. I'm going to do that this color. Well, that's odd. It may have something to do with me moving these things in elevation. In any case, I'm going to select all this stuff and make a symbol. When I add it to the library, I'm going to make it a door. I'm going to show advanced options, say OK. I want to subtract 4 inches from that. I want to add that there, and in 3D, and I want to rotate it. So you can see the stretch plane goes through the middle. And I'll say OK. You can also set the materials. Let's see. One thing I try to do, this is an unrelated tip. One thing I try to do when I'm doing symbols and other things as well is I use materials with a a unique name. And that way when you're spray painting stuff, it's easier to control, because in that way you don't, if you have just white everywhere and you spray paint something, it's going to spray paint everything that's white. But if you have something that's the same exact color but a different name, it's not going to, it won't attack that. So I'll say okay. And then let's go back over here and we'll apply it to this door here. So there it is. So you'll notice it backed up. It's now offset to the back. Looks like it didn't overlap. It looks like it needs to be 212. There it is. And so if we want to make it have 5 panels, the colors are different than this one because I made them different. That doesn't show the profiles very good. So what I would do is keep a plan that's just garage doors. Keep a plan that's this. This one's 18 feet. So it'd be pretty simple to make one that's half this, 9 feet. And then you could make some that are 8 feet or 16 feet, whatever, 20 feet, whatever you want. But as long as you've got these parts in here, it's pretty easy to expand. And of course I'm going through this kind of slow, so it's easy to follow. Once you've done this a couple of times, it goes quick. Now the other thing that I like to do is I'm going to select this outside piece and I'm going to go to moldings and I'm going to add new. I'm going to choose this one right here and say OK. And that's an 1/8 inch. It comes in at 1.5 inches. And I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to display molding edges. So that puts that a little round over. And you can remove moldings. So you can see what that does is just put a little 1/8 inch round over on the top and bottom. It just makes it look a little better. And then of course you'd select all this and make another symbol.